Welcome back, family, to Numbers Off the Hook. Last time we talked about what are algebraic expressions. We said they had three ingredients, right? It was constants, variables, and operators. We also talked about how to interpret algebraic expressions. So here now, I've written 4 different algebraic expressions, okay? This one is called the sum of x, y, and z. This is the quotient of x and y. This is the quotient of z and x. And this is the product of x and y. If you didn't understand what I'm talking about, please go back to the previous video and listen and repeat again. It has to be crystal clear before we go to the next step, okay? So now we have these algebraic expressions. So now it's kind of, what's the point? What do you want to achieve here? And this is what we're gonna get to today. So let's say somebody, a person, we don't know who it is, they just tell us that x happens to be equal to 2 and y happens to be equal to 3 and z happens to be equal to 4. We don't know why this happened, we just know this is something that somebody told us, okay? In mathematics, we like to write something like let x be equal to 2, let y be equal to 3, let z be equal to 4. Then what we're going to do now is we're going to evaluate these algebraic expressions given these values for these variables. Okay? So we're going to evaluate. So what does that mean? Let's do it nice and slow. It means instead of writing x here, we're going to write the corresponding number that is equal to x. So we see here that x is equal to 2. So we're going to write a 2 in place of x. The plus sign carry over. Next, we have a y. Okay? Let's look at our list. We see that y is equal to 3. So we're going to plug in a 3 in the place of the y. So here we will have a 3. The plus sign carry over. Lastly, we have a z here. And we said we were given that z was equal to 4. So in place of writing z, we're going to write 4. So now we have 2 plus 3 plus 4. Okay? 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. And we have a 4 remaining. 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. And that's the final result. We have here that this algebraic expression, given these values for the variables x, y, and z, was evaluated to be 9. Okay, I hope that's clear. And we can see here, this is clean. We can't make this simpler. This is in its simpler form. Now we have x divided by y, the second algebraic expression. Here, when we're doing algebra, we mathematicians, we don't like writing it this way. Instead, we like to write it this way. X over y. This means the same thing, but we prefer to write it this way when we're doing algebra. So that's super important to learn. So this is one thing that is really, that can be really difficult in mathematics. We can write the same thing in different ways, okay? So in mathematics, we call this notation. notation. Okay, so notation means writing the same thing but in different ways. That's different way of writing, different notations. Okay, and so now we have it in a suitable form that we like to work with. Let's plug in the number. I'll simply write equal sign here. This, I see there's a 2, it crosses over, and then we plug in the 3 from the y. So we have 2/3, and we can't simplify that any further. So the answer here is 2/3. Third example, we have z divided by x. We use this notation, z over x. And then we plug in the numbers. What was z equal to? Let's check out here. Z was equal to 4. I hope you can follow me. This line just crossed over. We have an x was equal to 2. But 4 over 2 is equal to what? Okay, 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So 4 divided by 2 must be equal to 2. And now we're done. This is the most simple form. Lastly, we have another issue here. Here we have x multiplied by y. So you can see here that the x and the multiplication sign, they kind of look similar, right? So mathematicians, they prefer to write it in another way. Okay? We simply omit, we simply remove the multiplication symbol. So instead of writing x multiplied by y, we just write x, y. And these two things mean the same thing. This is also something you have to learn. So this is another example of changing to a more convenient notation, okay? And now we can plug in the numbers. Here we have 2. And then here we know that there's an invisible multiplication sign there. So we put it back here, x, right? 2 multiplied with 3, which is equal to 6. And that's the result for this one. Okay? So now we're slowly building up our algebraic knowledge, right? We know what algebraic expressions, what they are. They have 3 different ingredients. We know how to interpret them. And now we know how to evaluate them, given certain values for the variables. Okay? But that's not all we learned today. We also learned about notation. That the mathematicians, they like to write same things in different ways because it's much more convenient. So when you're learning about mathematics, half of the job is just learning a lot of new notation. Okay? So, good. I think we're good for now, and I hope you liked it. Please comment and like the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.